players haven't been very happy with the way that leveling has worked in XDefiant so far in the preseason, and neither has Ubisoft actually. So today we finally got a new patch. Shockingly, we have now gotten a total of 4 patches since the game has come out, all before Season 1, and this one is supposed to be addressing our gripes and problems with leveling. So they said if you thought we wouldn't do another patch in preseason, you thought wrong. Here we go in the 0.4 patch for XDefiant. Talking about gameplay, they sped up the process of unlocking weapon attachments by lowering the amount of XP needed to level up your primary weapon from 3,500 to 3,000 and your secondary weapon from 1,500 to 1,000. This change is retroactive, meaning your existing weapon levels will likely be even higher now. Pause for polite applause. To counterbalance this speedier access to performance-enhancing attachments and provide a greater challenge to the community, weapon mastery level requirements have increased. However, any player who has already unlocked bronze, silver, gold skins will keep them. We're not monsters. So basically, they are decreasing the amount of XP it takes to level up the weapon up to the maximum level of attachments, but they're also increasing the level XP needed to get your mastery skins. This is honestly a little interesting. I wasn't expecting them to really change some of this right away because so many people have grinded a lot to get those gold skins, and now it's actually made harder. So that's an interesting change, but at least they are in fact reducing the XP needed for leveling up your gun to get your attachments. We're gonna see how this plays out. I mean, in the secondary aspect, they've dropped it by what is that, 30-something percent, 33%? Let me know in the comments if you guys have already played with this and, you know, have your own opinions on it. As far as netcode is concerned, they've improved how quickly your health reacts when being shot, which should reduce the feeling of being shot behind walls. So, and they've talked about this before, that the big problem with the netcode issues has really been a visual thing. Just stuff in the game hasn't been visually updating versus the actual data behind the scenes of what's happening per shot. They finally fixed the MDR recoil if you've been using the Firestorm skin from the Battle Pass that you get at like level 49 in the Battle Pass or something like that. They finally updated this. So it used to be that the recoil was absolutely absurd with the Firestorm skin. Now it should be back to normal. So if you guys have been waiting to use your Firestorm skin because of this problem, go ahead, put it on there, try it out, and you should be good now. With the factions, apparently some characters were still standing when they died. They've now adjusted that. That's good to see. And then additional crash fixes. But we have more context to this patch. Mark Rubin actually came out here and said some very interesting things, going to do a deep dive about the update itself. He says, let's talk about weapon mastery and leveling. Attachments for weapons affect gameplay, and people were unlocking attachments slower than they estimated. The faster leveling is in response to that. So that's the thing that people have been really asking for, is like, yo, we can't get our weapons leveled up, please make it better. And the weapon mastery, on the other hand, does not affect gameplay, and it is supposed to be something special that shows off your dedication to a weapon. And so the rebalance of levels was in response to that. And they've talked about that before on here, you know, wanting to increase the mastery part, but decrease the amount it takes to get to a good build on your gun. Now, if you've read any of my posts, if you heard me speak, I try to be as honest, open, and transparent as possible with everyone, and I know this change may upset some people, and we are always willing to say we didn't do the right thing and we need to correct. We will own our decisions, and we'll continue to evaluate. That being said, I love it if you guys gave this change a fair chance. We want to hear from you, whether it's positive or negative. Also, this whole system is being redone to be more engaging for everyone. It'll be a couple of seasons before we see this, but we will be looking at feedback now to improve our future implementation. Love you all. I will say it's kind of interesting that they're completely rebuilding the system when the game just came out. My question is, how long have they known that this was going to be a not so great system? I mean, personally, I've talked about it in the past. I don't think it's that bad of a system so far. It just needed some tweaks. So hopefully the changes that they have made will actually be positive. Now, he did also make a poll where he was asking some people about if they've played so far, what is their response? I haven't played this yet, so make sure you guys go check out the poll. Make sure you give your response to Mark Rubin if you've played so far with the patch. But that's not all for actual big gameplay changes that have happened to XDefiant so far. Last week, we had a patch that completely adjusted the way that snipers work, as well as movement with your jumping in the game. And you can check out the video on screen now to see how that looked.